Good morning, investors and traders. My name is Naeem Azam. I come with a wealth of over 15 years of experience in trading. During this period, I have worked as a hedge fund trader for Bank of New York Mellon and, of course, as an equity trader for Bank of America. So let's have a quick look at the crypto prices because obviously XRP has been exploding and still it is, as I said, it is exploding. And of course, the other cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum are also seeing a massive move to the upside. So let's see what are the opportunities there for us. Before we do that, as always, it is important for me to go through this disclaimer. Anything which will be discussed can't be perceived as an advice. If you are seeking for one, please do consider consulting with your own financial advisors. Now, as always, I'm going to bring out the MT4 platform. And many of you guys would already know if you trade Forex or if you trade cryptos, because this is one of the pretty good platforms out there. But of course, I will use my Bloomberg terminal during this particular presentation as well. So just to show you, this Bloomberg terminal is just right over here. So we are going to have a look at the prices in a little bit more detail when it comes to that as well, and then a little bit of a bit more news analysis on that too. But let's have a look at the prices first of all for XRP. So with respect to the XRP, to begin with, we are going to focus on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, what we see is obviously yesterday the price made another higher high, another highest high for this particular year. Price went all the way to this particular level, to here, which means that we formed a high of 0.78. This is incredible because XRP was only trading at 0.30 not too long ago, and I am speaking of on Friday, because last Friday when the prices closed we were trading in around those price levels. So just in a space of less than a week, the prices have really surged, because this is where we were trading pretty much last week, and then prices started to explode to the upside, and then that's what really happened. Of course, with respect to the moving averages, this is your 50-day simple moving average, 100-day and 200-day. They are left well behind because price currently is trading very far from these particular price level, because this is your 50-day simple moving average and the price is very far from that price level. So that confirms that yes, a retracement is due, and in fact that particular retracement has happened yesterday, because we are already down quite a lot, because this is where our XRP is trading at, which is at 0.66 as a compare to the previous price level, which was right over here, meaning 0.78. So we have, but again, if we compare the prices where they were trading in comparison to the last week, which is right over here, guys, obviously there has been a massive move. Now, of course, in terms of patterns, we can have a look at the prices, but in order to see any price patterns, we have to go into a smaller time frame, such as your 4-hour time frame, and then see if we can form any sort of a pattern, if we can see any sort of the patterns forming. So let's do that by joining the lower highs right over here. So I've joined this high and that high pretty much, and then I'm going to do the same with the lower high, with higher lows, and then what I see is that yes, there is this called symmetrical triangle forming within this trend, intraday trend, which is your 4-hour time frame. And that means that usually speaking, statistically speaking, they do break in the direction of the trend. What do I mean by the direction of the trend? Meaning this can break to the upside, pushing the prices well above the previous highs of 0.78. In fact, if one wants to draw the exact projection of this particular triangle, then what we have to do is we have to a little bit zoom out of this particular chart, and I have to push a little bit down like that. And that means if I draw, let me just draw those projections once again for you guys so that you can understand what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that symmetrical triangle once again right over here. And now we are going to take the measurement of this particular symmetrical triangle, which is pretty much the high and the low of this one, and that means we are talking about a move which is going to be this much high, meaning we are going to be pushing this prices above the previous level, and that means that prices can very easily go beyond the $1 price level, the one that I tweeted yesterday in my tweet, and I'll show that in a bit. So we are really talking about the price levels to cross above that critical level of $1 to all the way to here, and that can easily push the prices to above these particular resistance zone. The current resistance zone, as per our previous analysis, was between 0.89 to 0.94. So price, this symmetrical triangle, if it breaks to the upside, it can very easily, guys, it can very easily break to the upside, push us back above this particular zone. So let me just actually show you where this particular zone is coming from. In order for me to show you this zone, I have to go into a weekly time frame, because this particular zone is coming from our weekly time frame, and that time frame shows you that the first resistance level is right over here. So these are the price levels that I'm really referring to in relation to that. So that's where the price is really, this particular level is coming from. Then after that, we have further price levels, which really shows you that, look, if the price continues to move higher the way that it is doing it right now, that means then the next price level that we can really look at towards this particular price action is going to be, let me just make it a little bit more smaller and then get rid of this particular line. I'm gonna get rid of this one as well. So then after that, the next price level is really going to be right over here, and I'm gonna change the colors. Okay, let me just actually get rid of all of these lines so that we have new ones just for you guys to just look at. So what I'm going to do is, because obviously this is our first price level that we are, first resistance level, then we are going to draw our next resistance zone, and I'm going to change the color for our next resistance zone lines by going into object properties. We're going to change that to, let's say, orange, so that we can just know where exactly this particular object is really trading at. And when I look at this particular price level, so let me just change this one into orange as well. So when I look at the orange one, so this is, there you go. So that is your 1.06 all the way to 1.13. So that is the price level that we're really looking at. So what we have, once again, I'm going to mark these price levels for you on the chart. This is our resistance level number one, the immediate resistance level number one. This over here, guys, is going to be our resistance level number two. Now, obviously, these are the price levels that we are very much focused on. These are the levels that we are going to keep an eye on. Now, quickly, let's have a look at Ethereum as well, because there is no doubt that Ethereum price levels are also moving higher. The prices are exploding once again, and we are into the price. Okay, sorry, this is your BTC. I'm talking about Ethereum before we go on to the BTC. So with respect to Ethereum, yes, the prices are moving very high, and now we are entering into an area which we have not seen since 2017, because that resistance level is really coming from this particular area. So right in around this price level. So we are obviously touched, we've gone into this area. And if you remember from my analysis yesterday, what we did was that we did put out another area of resistance, which was right over here, 706 to 735, or even better, the next level of resistance, if the price breaks out of crunch zone, is going to be right over here between 793 to 828. These are the price levels. The RSI is no doubt giving you overboard signals, but the RSI with respect to cryptos is really regardless, because they don't really follow that much. So it is all about the price action. So if we break out of these particular zones, which is very likely, the next move in terms of a price action in my humble opinion, is very much going to be towards this particular area, which is 793 to 822. So once again, I'm going to label the price levels for you on the chart. So this is your resistance level number 1. This over here is your resistance level number 2, so that you know where exactly the price levels are. Now, in terms of a support, in terms of any retracement, if there is any retracement in terms of a price action, what we're going to look at under those circumstances is we're going to go into 4-hour time frame, and we're going to see any sort of a minor retracement or support is going to come from this area of support. So let's quickly change these ones into green so that we know which one is our support and which one is our resistance. So I'm going to change the color for your easiness, so for you to understand that. So when you look at the chart, you know which one is which. So this is our support zone or buy zone. This is our resistance zone or the sell zone. Obviously the price is trading right over here. If the price retraces over here, that would be great, but chances are that it may not retrace to that level. If it doesn't, then we do have one pattern, one bullish pattern formed right over here, which was your double bottom. One bottom being here, the other bottom not exactly the same, but pretty much the same. So prices come over here, but this is very, very risky and aggressive. So if the price falls in here again, you can do that, or otherwise just take the breakout trade. The breakout trade is going to come from the level the moment the price breaks out of its resistance zone. And remember, our next resistance zone is quite far, and that is the target that we are doing that. So either you take the breakout trade from here, or either you wait for the prices to enter right over here. Now quickly have a look at BTC. Very much so trading in towards its in its resistance zone. So if you are not into this trade, what you can do is on intraday, look for the 50-day simple moving average prices retracing to 18,316 18,306 price level. If not, again look for the breakout trade out of this all-time high, and then let it just ride, let it just ride, and let it just ride. That's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time.